Hi, I'm Nicole Netchi, the Sports Information Graduate Assistant, and today I got to sit down with the head women's soccer coach, Rob Eaton, head football coach, John Allen, and head cross-country coach, Aaron Russell. We discussed last weekend's performances and this upcoming week. Can you talk to us a little bit about last weekend?
Last weekend was an interesting week. Mercyhurst and Gannon, two of the Erie teams. Mercyhurst was a useful gauge for us in terms of a team was probably in the middle of the pack with us in terms of history. Good 35 minutes, played quite well, played to a game plan, led a silly goal in about 5 minutes before the half, and kind of deflated the girls. I thought we played quite well to that point. We didn't really deal with the cross too well, so they're up 1-0 at half time, which changed the team talk. Another silly goal in the second half. Bottom line is we ended up losing 2-0, and was probably a closer game than that. So we were disappointed in that result, but saw some good things. Gannon was a completely different story. We really didn't get anything going. We had a game plan to take care of their strongest player. Did well with that for a while, and then a silly defensive error. Again, our error. Nothing that the other team was too strong and playing through us. Silly mistake. Down 1-0 again. Heads go down. A couple of minutes before the half, a silly corner kick and a throw-in, and we're down 2-0 again. Played everybody in the second half because it didn't look like we were going to score that game. I thought it was the right time to blood some of the freshmen. So we played probably 26, 27 players in the game, which is unusual for us at this level. Let in 2 goals, which really was a case of new players making mistakes. So what you're talking about last week is the fact that we're just making our own errors and causing our own problems and trying to learn through those, but it's an awkward time for us right now.
And looking ahead to next weekend with Pitt Johnstown and Seton Hill, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that changes the mood a little bit because they're teams that are coming in without the history of a Mercyhurst or a Gannon, so automatically the girls are quietly confident. I think that's a bit awkward because they suddenly think they're going to win based on history, which is somewhat silly. Friday, UPJ, we're going to change a few things in the way we play, be a bit more aggressive. I mean, we should do well in that game. Saturday brings in Seton Hill, which will be a very tough game, and a lot of those double headers back to back. It all depends on what happens, the day prior. Seton Hill have a tough game out at Bloomsburg. We hope that goes to double overtime and they get knocked around a little bit, and we can handle UPJ early in the first game. But we'd like to think we can be back to 500, be 3-3, 2 games at home, which helps. So we're quietly confident about the weekend, but we've got to take care of business, and we're doing that with a lot of new things we're presenting to the program, so it's an interesting week.
Thank you very much, Coach. A little bit about Tony Ballin and David Cook against Seton Hill last week.
Yeah, Tony Ballin probably had his best game as a bald eagle. He was all over the field, did a great job, especially in that goal line stand there in the second half. Those were probably 7 of the best plays we've seen our defense play, and he was right in the middle of the fold. It was great to see him finally step up as a football player, kind of looking like he felt really comfortable at the position, and made a lot of key tackles in key situations. So very happy for him. David Cook, again, another guy, probably his best performance as a ball leader as well. Really has stepped up with his confidence in the offensive set, and he's become a playmaker for us. And he's a guy that I feel like right now we can call his number, and he's going to come out on top as far as making plays is concerned. And his blocking and his ability within the offense is really coming along. It's going to help our run game as well. So I'm really excited about what those 2 guys have done this past weekend.
And now looking ahead to Indiana, what do you say about that?
It's going to be a tough football game. We got a noon start. We're coming off a couple of losses, a couple of close, tight losses. But our guys really feel confident on what they're doing. We have to be a little bit patient on the offensive side of the football. We got some young guys. We got 4, true or redshirt freshmen playing on the offensive line. But they're starting to really come along. They're gaining confidence with each outing. They're playing tough. They're getting their assignments down. So I'm looking forward to that side of the football continuing to grow. I challenged our defense. That's where our strength is. That's where the majority of our experienced guys are coming back at. They have to keep playing at a high pace. So we've challenged them to do that. It's kind of like looking at the Seattle Seahawks and the Baltimore Ravens. They lead their teams, and I'm asking our defense to lead our team right now until those young guys start to come along on the offensive side.
Great, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks.
So looking back, can you talk about last weekend and the men's cross-country team and their performance?
Last weekend we were really focused on running as a group, kind of using more of that kind of an exercise. There was a strong Stonehill team there from the East region, so we were also excited to see how we matched up against them. So we kind of got off to a slow start, but really packed it up, ended up with 8 runners in the top 10. I was really happy with how we were communicating and things, which is kind of an X factor with us out there on the courses. Looking forward to next weekend. We are running a short course at Dickinson. It's actually at Big Spring High School. So we're going to be doing a 4K. It's really, for us, kind of the turning point in our season of where we're going to start looking at getting a bit more turnover into our training and things. Where it's a festival year, which means our nationals is until December. It's a long time to kind of periodize your training and things. So this weekend, definitely look to get in there and be competitive and mix it up with some teams, but really look for the benefit physically we're going to get out of it in the long run.
And now looking back on how the women did last weekend as well, and then going into this weekend.
I'll reverse that. This weekend we're kind of looking at the same thing with the women's training. So definitely, like I said, we're going to go out there and be competitive, but it's a lot shorter distance than we're prepared, been training for and things. So it's kind of all a piece of the chain and getting things ready for the end of the season. This past weekend I was more excited about the women's performance than the men. We had a year last year that was really riddled with crazy sicknesses and illnesses and injuries and things. So really to have a strong group of newcomers joining those healthy returners was huge, and I think we showed we definitely deserve some respect. Finished third, nationally ranked Stonehill team won the event. We were right on the heels of Westchester, who's ranked 8th in the region, I believe, and we soundly defeated Kutztown, who's ranked 10th. So it was a huge confidence and emotional boost for the women just to show themselves that they're capable of achieving an equal level with men.
Great, thanks a lot, Coach.